Gobble, gobble. Happy Thanksgiving from Brandon's World. From me to you, I am very thankful for all of you. I am thankful for Voltage Live, which, of course, we are in collaboration with the one, the only, for this podcast today. I am thankful for Brandon's World. I am thankful for Spotify for podcasters, for Apple iTunes, for Spotify, for YouTube, wherever you are listening. I am very thankful that my Philadelphia Eagles are in a position to potentially get the number one seed in the NFC. I am very thankful for Survivor Series War Games this Saturday, streaming live on Peacock. I am very thankful that my Cleveland Guardians look to be on the rise. I am very thankful that my Cleveland Cavaliers to this point in the NBA season have only lost one game. Now that I've gotten the thankfulness out of the way, folks, in case you are new to Brandon's World, welcome in to this special Thanksgiving edition, one of the only sports shows in the entire country that is live, up to the date, giving you Thanksgiving live feed podcast ready to go Thanksgiving morning to discuss NFL football. Again, in case you're new to the Brandon's podcast, we are in collaboration with the one, the only Voltage Live. My social media links are in the description below. I am your executive host, your producer, your founder of the Brandon's podcast, Brandon Lewis. What I do is typically every Tuesday during the football season, I recap every single game that went on that week in the National Football League. On Thursdays, I usually give my money line picks for the games for the upcoming week. Plus, I do what I call five best bets, where I pick the spread of those games. I put my own money on them via FanDuel. And, some weeks I've done very well, 4 for 5, a couple weeks this year. Other weeks, like 2 weeks this year, I've done 5 for 5 this year. Other weeks, like last week, not so much 2 for 5. And of course, I keep track of my own pick standings throughout the entire football season. This year, as we enter on this Thanksgiving, I am 118 and 61 in the money line. I am 35 for 60 in best bets. Tomorrow on Brandon's World, I'll be giving you my thoughts on the Thanksgiving games that we watched today. Plus, I'll be giving you my best bets along with my money line picks for the rest of week 13 in the NFL. But what I wanted to do on this Thanksgiving, again, along with saying how thankful I am for each and every one of you, is I am going to be discussing the free Thanksgiving matchups, and I'll be giving you a special parlay to put in on Thanksgiving so that you can win yourself some money. Let's start off with the 12:30 game on CBS. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo on the call, Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears taking on Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Dan Campbell, and the Detroit freaking Lions. We know what happened last year on Thanksgiving if you're a football fan. The Green Bay Packers entered Thanksgiving after getting clobbered by the Lions in week 4 in Lambeau. Jordan Love looked like he was going to be a bust at quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. And this is the game that turned around the entire Packers season. It, launched them into the stratosphere, if you will. Jordan Love only had one interception the rest of the regular season. Green Bay would go on to knock off the Lions in a shocker. They were 7.5 point underdogs. Now, we all know for years the Lions game on Thanksgiving was sort of the forgetful game. The Lions were never good. Obviously, that has changed over the past few years. And this year, the Lions enter, if not the best team in football. There is no debate. They're in the top three. A lot of people would say they're at least in the top two of best team in the National Football League. This is the first time this year that these two NFC North rivals will match up. But ever since the Chicago Bears fired offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, they may not have won a game, but under Thomas Brown, their rookie signal caller, Caleb Williams out of USC, has looked a lot better. He's getting the ball out of his hands. They're getting the ball into their playmakers. DeAndre Swift at running back, DJ Moore and another rookie, Roma Dunze, a wide receiver, to go along with a veteran, Keenan Allen, along with tight end Cole Kmet. The offense looks more confident. The Bears are led by a defensive coach in Matt Eberflus, and while their defense has played well this year, I think the Lions, they know they have the Packers coming up after, what both teams will be on a week's rest. It will be next Thursday night in Detroit at home. They know they have to take advantage, but the Lions have two great running backs in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. I do like Jahmyr Gibbs. This is going to be part of my best bets parlay for Jahmyr Gibbs to score a touchdown. The line on this game is 10.5 points. I don't know whether or not the Lions are going to cover this spread. I think they significantly could. I think they're going to beat the Bears up on both sides of the football. I don't think Dan Campbell is going to let what happened to the Lions last year on Thanksgiving happen again. I think they will be more prepared. Do I think the Bears come out and play well? Yes, I do, because this is essentially a national television game. And I think if the Bears get run off the field here, Matt Eberflus, whose job has been hanging on a thread for the whole season for the Chicago Bears, this team has started 4-2. They had not won a game since they left London. And again, if Eberflus and the Bears get blown out here, it could be the last game Matt Eberflus coaches as the head coach of the Chicago Bears. I think this is a divisional matchup. I think the Bears fight their tail off here. I like Jahmyr Gibbs to score a touchdown. I also think these two teams are going to be able to put up a lot of points. If you're going to beat the Lions, you're going to have to be able to put up a ton of points, which is why I like the over here of 48.5 total points as well. The next game. This is not a game to write home about. The New York Giants, who just recently last week quit on their football team, I believe, after they released their starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, Daniel Jones, to go to a kid by the name of Tommy Cutlets. Now you ask, why is this man nicknamed Tommy Cutlets? His real name is Tommy DeVito, and Tommy DeVito lives at home with his parents still. He's from the New Jersey area. He grew up a Giants fan, and he has chicken cutlets for dinner every night at his parents' house. Yes, that is why his nickname is Tommy Cutlets. The Giants have been a disaster of a franchise. These two teams did play in week 4, though that was a different matchup. Yes, it was on a Thursday 9 weeks ago, but the Dallas Cowboys had quarterback Dak Prescott in that game. Dak Prescott was a fourth round pick in the 2016 draft out of Mississippi State. He has risen up to be the Cowboys franchise quarterback for the better part of a decade. But Dak Prescott was paid at the beginning of the season, before their week 1 matchup with the Cleveland Browns, as the highest paid player in NFL history. And Dallas lost Prescott 4 weeks ago to a torn hamstring off the bone. Ever since then, backup Cooper Rush has been in. They were destroyed by the Philadelphia Eagles. They were destroyed by the Houston Texans. But they showed some fight last week when they knocked off their division rival, the Washington Commanders, who were arguably the surprise of the week this year. And they did it in Washington after a thrilling fourth quarter that featured over 30 points on the board. The Giants, again, last week they got hammered by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 30-7. They look like a team that's ready to quit. This is a team that gave Saquon Barkley, who's having a career year with the Philadelphia Eagles, away essentially for free. And it's just not a good look for Brian Dable, Joe Shane, and the Giants. Now, Mike McCarthy, the Dallas Cowboy head coach, he is also fighting for his job, but the Cowboys have historically owned the Giants. I'm not going to put anything on this game. I'm not betting any props. I'm not betting lines. I'm not betting money line. I'm not betting a thing. I think the Cowboys win just strictly because they're at home on Thanksgiving, give their crowd a little bit more to cheer about. And again, quite frankly, I think the Giants are done. Now, could they come out here? Could the Giants win this game? They absolutely could. Do they bounce back in a short week? Is it sort of one final stand the way Dallas did last week at Washington? There's a scenario that happens, but I don't think Mike Zimmer and Mike McCarthy let that happen. I don't think this is a very pleasantly, aesthetically pleasing game for Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt to call on Fox at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. I would plan my Thanksgiving dinner around this game. Then let's get to the night game. So this is where the majority of my bets are going to come from. I like the Packers at home. I'm taking them in the money line here. I'm not doing a spread, even though I like -3.5. I'm going to take them to beat the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa suffered a horrific injury in week 2, his third concussion in as many years as the Dolphins starting quarterback. The Dolphins did not have a plan for a backup quarterback, which I could never quite understand. And so Miami was dead and out of it. They were 2-6 as Tua Tagovailoa made his way back to the field. But since the last 3 games has occurred, the Miami Dolphins, they knocked out the Los Angeles Rams in LA, who were fighting for a playoff spot. Then they knocked out the Raiders and Patriots, who are not two of the best teams in the world, but they're very well coached teams. And all of a sudden, Miami has won 3 in a row, and things are looking up. But Tua Tagovailoa, he's from the warm weather. He played at Alabama. The Dolphins are a very fast speed. They're a track-like speed team, if you will. Two of the fastest players in the NFL with Tyreek Hill, a wide receiver, with Jalen Waddle, a wide receiver, also with Devin Achane and Raheem Mostert coming out of the backfield at running back. But again, this Dolphins are a very warm weather team, and they're going up against a Green Bay defense led by former Boston College head coach Jeff Affley that is taking the football away. Xavier McKinney, another former New York Giant, leads the NFL in interceptions this year. And we mentioned the way the Green Bay Packers played on Thanksgiving last year. Now they're playing at their Howard Hall, Lambeau Field, prime time. I think Jordan Love, who has really been spectacular since coming back from his injury week 4, an ankle injury that he suffered week 1. And again, outside of week 4, the Packers' only loss was a rain game in week 9 of the Detroit Lions. So Green Bay this year has lost 2 divisional games and they lost another game in Brazil. So take all those factors out, they've won every other game. They just dismantled the NFC runner-up San Francisco 49ers last weekend. They're playing their best football at the right time, both offensively, defensively, and special teams. That combined with Miami's woes out in the cold, I like Green Bay to hammer away here at a Dolphins defense that I think is just being inflated by playing bad football teams. In this game, not only do I like the Packers' money line, but I like Josh Jacobs, who has been an incredible running back for the Packers this season. They got him in free agency from the Las Vegas Raiders after the Packers had let Aaron Jones go to the division rival Vikings. A move I did not like at the time, but a move that's worked out well for both squads. I like Josh Jacobs, who scored 3 touchdowns last week against the Niners to once again get in the end zone. And Devin Achane, who I already mentioned for the Dolphins, he's incredible receiving threat out of the backfield, but he can also run the ball in the end zone by hook or by crook. I like Devin Achane to also get in the end zone. So, quick recap here. I like all home teams to win on this Thanksgiving Day. I like the Packers at night. I like the Cowboys at 4:30, and I like the Lions at the 12:30 Eastern time window. For Thanksgiving Day, this parlay, if you put out $10, you'll win about 119 or so dollars currently on FanDuel at this time. On Thanksgiving, I do like for Jahmyr Gibbs to score a touchdown in the Bears Lions game. I also like that over under to be at 48.5. Then in the Packers Dolphins night game, I like Devin Achane as well as Josh Jacobs to score touchdowns. Plus, I like Green Bay to win flat out in the money line. And thank you so much for listening to this Thanksgiving Turkey Day edition of Brandon's World Gobble Gobble. I hope you enjoy all the turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, ham, gravy, football, whatever your tradition is on this special day. let's all be thankful for each other. And again, tomorrow, be right back here for Brandon's World. I'll recap the 3 games on Thanksgiving. Plus, I will be discussing my other Week 13 money line picks and best bets, as well as previewing WWE Survivor Series War Games. That's all the time we have for today. I wanted to make this a short podcast so that you all can enjoy your time with your families. Once again, we are in collaboration with the one, the only Voltage Live. My social media links are in the description below. Thank you so much for listening. I'm your executive host, your producer, your founder of Brandon's World, Brandon Lewis. Let's make this a great holiday season. And peace. Like that clip from the Brandon's World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brandon's World podcast right here on YouTube.